let's start with the president's $5 trillion tax hike and the fact that he says that nobody under 400,000 is going to pay anything. And then let's go to the website in your department, Office of Tax Analysis. It provides a distributional analysis for all major taxes. I ask unanimous consent to put this in the record.
Without objection, so ordered.
This analysis shows that households with income below 310,000 bear approximately 37% of the corporate tax under current law. The fact is that millions of middle-class Americans with 401ks or IRAs bear the burden of the corporate taxes, as do workers in the form of lower wages. So my question, based on Treasury's own analysis of the corporate tax burden, isn't it true middle-class Americans will shoulder the burden of the president's tax hike to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars?
So I think what the impact when you change taxes on corporations, what the impact is on families involves a lot of channels that are speculative. They are included in models that sometimes the Treasury uses for the purpose of analysis, but a tax that is levied on corporations that has no obvious direct effect on households, I don't believe the president would regard as raising taxes on families making under $400,000.
Well, we all know that corporations are just a tool to pass through taxes to either management, consumers, or workers. And I think that it's realistic to say that the president's tax is going to hit people with either lower wages or salaries, or the consumers are going to pay it.
I think if you look at the entire budget and the president's overall program, what you will see is a budget that not only reduces the deficit by about $3 trillion, but also invests in our economy in ways that especially benefit low-income workers and the middle class. It reflects an approach I've called modern supply-side economics, which is already showing itself to be tremendously effective in generating investment in our economy and is creating jobs all throughout the country.
I want to move on. The president's budget purports to stabilize the national debt as a share of the economy at levels that rival World War II records. Even the Bloomberg editorial board, in a recent article that expressed support for much of the president's agenda, questioned the administration's math. This is because the budget relies on rosy economic and interest rate assumptions, along with many other gimmicks. This includes assuming the 2017 tax law expires, which would mean $2 trillion tax hike on those earning under $400,000, a direct violation of the president's pledge. Rather than being fiscally responsible, doesn't the president's budget, by making no real effort to address runaway spending and the middle class up for a larger tax hikes down the road? Isn't that what the budget does?
Well, I would strongly disagree with that description of the budget. First of all, the economic assumptions, if anything, are less optimistic than current data suggests. Economic growth is proven stronger, the labor market stronger than is reflected in our economic assumptions. The economic assumptions do show a rise in interest rates, which does impact debt service cost. But the most important metric of sustainability of fiscal policy is real net interest paid on the debt, and that is stabilized in the president's budget.
Let me sum it up this way. You're telling us much more optimistic than what we hear from our own Congressional Budget Office.
Well,